The Galactic Assembly Hall buzzed with barely contained mirth as Admiral Sarah Chen walked to the podium, her weathered face betraying no emotion. Behind her, a holographic display showed Earth's contribution to the defense fleet, 12 ancient vessels that looked like they'd been pulled from a museum. "Behold," sneered Ambassador Vex Thule, his crystalline form refracting the chamber's lights into prismatic mockery. "Humanity's mighty armada. Ships older than some civilizations held, together by what they quaintly call duct tape and prayers." The assembled delegates erupted in chittering laughter. The Zephyrian representatives' tentacles writhed with amusement, while the Corvan envoys' multiple heads bobbed in synchronized derision. Even the usually stoic Vorthan delegation allowed themselves what passed for smiles among their species. Admiral Chen waited for the laughter to die down before speaking. "These vessels have served humanity for over 2 centuries. The UES Defiant alone has seen action in 14 different conflicts." "Yes," Ambassador Thrix of the Hegemony interjected, his voice dripping with condescension. "We've read your quaint historical records, chemical propulsion, kinetic weapons, and—" he paused for dramatic effect. "Nuclear warheads. How delightfully primitive." More laughter rippled through the assembly. The newest member of the Galactic Council, humanity had been grudgingly accepted only after demonstrating faster-than-light travel. But their technology remained laughably outdated compared to the energy shields, plasma cannons, and antimatter, weapons that dominated modern warfare. "Our Nexus fleet," boasted Captain Zarthok of the militant Sephiran Empire, "utilizes quantum phase disruptors that can unmake matter at the subatomic level. Your nuclear weapons are like stones thrown by children." Admiral Chen nodded politely. "Perhaps, but stones can be effective in the right hands." The assembly had gathered to address the growing threat of the Devourers, a mechanical plague that had been consuming entire star systems on the galaxy's rim. Their adaptive shields could absorb energy weapons, their swarm tactics overwhelmed traditional defenses, and their relentless advance had already claimed 17 civilizations. "The plan is simple," announced Supreme Coordinator Veltum, the DI Assembly's military leader. "Our combined fleets will engage the Devourer vanguard at the Kepler expanse. Humanity's contribution will remain in reserve." The unspoken message was clear. The real military powers would handle the threat while Earth's antiques stayed safely out of the way. 3 days later, the greatest armada in galactic history assembled at the Kepler expanse. 5,000 ships, from 37 civilizations bristling with the most advanced weapons known to science. The human vessels hung at the formation's edge like forgotten relics. The Devourers came as they always did, a black tide of geometric nightmares that blotted out the stars. Their vessels were perfect killing machines, evolved through countless battles into instruments of pure destruction. "All ships engage," commanded Coordinator Veltum, the galaxy's finest unleashed hell. Plasma streams hot enough to ignite atmospheres lanced across space. Antimatter torpedoes detonated in brilliant flashes that briefly birthed new suns. Quantum disruptors tore holes in reality itself. The Devourers absorbed it all. Their adaptive shields flickered and strengthened, turning the galaxy's most fearsome weapons into mere light shows. They pressed forward, their own weapons returning fire with cold precision. Ships that had taken decades to build died in seconds. "Shields failing," reported Captain Zarthok, his earlier boasts forgotten in the face of annihilation. "They're adapting faster than we can modulate." Panic spread through the fleet as ship after ship fell silent. The Devourer's strategy was brutally effective. Let the enemy exhaust their exotic weapons, adapt to every frequency and particle beam, then close for the kill. "This is Admiral Chen to all ships," came a calm voice over the comm. "Human vessels are moving to engage." "Negative," Coordinator Veltum's voice cracked with desperation. "Your weapons are useless against their shields." "Roger that, Coordinator, beginning attack run." The 12 ancient human warships broke formation, their chemical thrusters pushing them toward the Devourer swarm. To the galaxy's most advanced civilizations, it looked like suicide. Captain Zarthok watched in disbelief as the UES Defiant lined up its shot. What are they doing? Those primitive kinetic weapons can't possibly. The Defiant's main gun fired. It wasn't the elegant beam of a plasma cannon or the exotic energies of a quantum disruptor. It was a simple slug of dense metal, accelerated to tremendous velocity by controlled nuclear explosions, a crude brute force weapon that belonged in a museum. The projectile struck the lead Devourer vessel's shield at 97% of light speed. The shield, designed to absorb and redirect energy, had no protocol for dealing with simple kinetic force delivered at relativistic speeds. The slug punched through like it wasn't there, and the Devourer ship vanished in a brief, brilliant flash. "Impossible," whispered Ambassador Vexthul. The Defiant fired again, and another Devourer died. Then the Intrepid opened up, followed by the Valor and the Indomitable. Each shot was a masterpiece of primitive physics, metal moving very, very fast. The Devourer swarm reeled in confusion. Their adaptive systems, evolved to counter energy weapons and exotic particles, couldn't adapt to simple kinetic force. You can't redirect momentum. You can't absorb velocity. You can only take the hit and hope you survive. Most didn't. Within minutes, the vanguard that had shrugged off the galaxy's best weapons was scattered debris. The remaining Devourers fled, their collective intelligence finally understanding that some threats couldn't be adapted to. In the aftermath, as rescue ships tended to the wounded and engineers surveyed the damage, Admiral Chen found herself surrounded by very quiet, very humble alien dignitaries. "Your weapons," Ambassador Vexthul said slowly. "They're so simple." Admiral Chen smiled, her weathered face creasing with satisfaction. "Sometimes, Ambassador, the oldest tricks work best. While you were perfecting exotic energies and quantum fields, we kept building bigger hammers, and sometimes," she gestured toward the debris field that had once been an unstoppable force, "the nail just needs a good, hard hit." Supreme, Coordinator Veltum approached, his species equivalent of shame coloring his features. "Admiral, the Assembly formally requests that Earth's fleet take point in future engagements." "We'd be honored, Coordinator," Chen replied. "After all, we've been throwing rocks for a very long time. We've gotten quite good at it." As the human fleet formed up to pursue the fleeing Devourers, the galaxy learned a valuable lesson. Evolution doesn't always mean complexity. Sometimes the most effective solution is also the oldest one. And sometimes the species that everyone laughs at is the one with the last laugh.